Hello, Michael here with another Michael's Guitar Reviews. And today we have something very, very unusual indeed. This is a Hofner, it's a Hofner President from 1959. 59, a really, really old guitar. These were made between around about 1953 and the early 1970s. And this particular one has a few interesting and individual characteristics that we'll have a look at today. First thing to notice is it's a very attractive guitar. It's got a solid spruce top. It's an archtop guitar, so in other words there's swelling on the top of the guitar and also on the back, and this is going to increase the amount of volume within the guitar itself. It's a hollow guitar, so there's no wood going all the way through from the neck. Some people would say that that would lead to slightly less sustain, but what it does do is increase the projection from within the sound of the body of the guitar. This particular one is very attractive. If you look at the headstock to start with, we've got the Hofner logo there, but we've also got some very interesting artwork which has been done with either abalone or mother of pearl. The headstock shape itself is very characteristic of Hofner and a very nicely designed headstock. On the back we can see that there are open tuners. Now these tuners are very, very basic indeed, but they work very well. In this particular case there's been some work over the years on this setup because some of the screws appear to be non-original. And for the purist that might be an issue, but from a practical point of view it makes no difference whatsoever. The actual thumb parts of the tuners appear to be either a really nice mellowed plastic or possibly something similar to bone. Not sure, but they're very nice indeed. They've got a lovely patina to them, which is very important for collectors of older guitars. Another point that's worth mentioning is if you look at the nut on this guitar, I don't know if you can see or if it picks up on the camera there, but it's actually a sandwich. It's got an ivory colouring, then black, a black part sandwiched between, and then ivory again. And the nut's set, it's cut quite deeply, which ordinarily would be a concern because it might lead to some buzzing of the strings. As you probably know, normally the strings would sit just on the top of the recesses in the nut. But it's been cut very accurately. There are no rough parts to this nut at all, and beside it we have a 0 fret. 0 fret just here, as you can see. The neck itself is a C profile, and it's a fairly large C profile, so it's quite a bulky neck, but it's very, very comfortable indeed. And on the front we have the fingerboard, which is actually quite narrow by comparison to a lot of other guitars. The finish on this guitar, whether it was from the factory or later, in terms of the ends of the frets, is very smooth, so somebody's taken the trouble to make sure those are comfortable. Now the owner of the guitar thinks possibly this might have had a replacement neck at some point because this particular one has a truss rod, and the truss rod came in later than the serial number on this guitar suggests. So in other words, as a 59 made guitar, it wouldn't have had a truss rod normally. It was the later ones, and this particular one has a truss rod, therefore there may have been some surgery at some time in the past. In addition, the back of the neck has been painted. And a lot of the earlier ones apparently had natural finishes. But it's been very well done, it feels very nice, and there's no apparent damage or other cause for concern really on this at all. It's a lovely neck. Just another feature worth noticing, if you can see, is there's a gap between the fingerboard and neck and the body there, which seems to be characteristic of these guitars. The bridge has been carefully thought about. It's an adjustable bridge in terms of height, There's no adjustment for intonation backwards and forwards, but it's easily adjusted for height using these small knurled nuts at the side here, so it can go up and down. Another point is, when you look very carefully, is that the bridge saddle has also been compensated, so it's slightly further back here and slightly further forward on the high E string. There is a patented compensator tailpiece as well, a Hofner compensated tailpiece. So hopefully overall that should help intonation to be more correct. Characteristic F-holes, jazz style guitar, single cutaway. This particular model also had a standard and a thin line version, and this one is the standard version, so the depth of the body is standard on this one. It's a nicely balanced guitar. It feels very comfortable. It's obviously very, very light in weight because there's no piece of wood between the neck and the back of the guitar. It's a lightweight guitar. The binding around the edges is lovely. It's very understated, and because of its age it's become quite creamy in colour now, and of course so has the wood has also aged and mellowed. It's got book matched flamed appearance on the back, which is really, really lovely, and overall a lot of attention to detail. Nicely figured tortoiseshell pickguard there as well, and the remains of the Hofner logo just on the top bout. So overall, a nice looking guitar. What does it sound like? Let's have a listen. Remember, it's an acoustic one, so therefore the variation is going to be entirely predetermined by what we've got. So here we go. So what's the verdict? Well, it's a very interesting, collectible guitar with a history. Something that is very pleasant to play. The action is quite low and quite light on this particular one. It's quite a crisp sounding guitar. A lot of them were fitted with electric pickup, which would have made a massive difference in terms of the flexibility overall. But as a collector guitar, one to add to your collection, one of these will be lovely. This one, I believe, is in fact for sale at the moment by the present owner. But yes, a nice piece of history, a nice guitar, lovely looking guitar, which has aged very, very well indeed. So this is Michael at Michael's Guitar Reviews. Again, thank you so much for watching. I would love it if you'd subscribe. Give us a like, give us a subscribe. If you subscribe, it helps more people to see the channel, and in that way we can get more people to share the love of guitars. As always, I'd be very happy for your constructive comments and feedback, but in the meantime, thank you very much for watching and happy playing. So bye for now.